What's up, guys? There is too much endurance. I've realized it. It's not just that I'm not strong enough. It's not that I don't have enough power. It is also that there's too much endurance. There's way more than I need. There's actually, arguably, amongst those that are around my level or close to it, there's more than I could ever use. Let me tell you, when I started arm wrestling, I started watching the WAL reels and the Devin Larratt trash talk, best trash talk moments, things like that. And I was sick, laying on the couch for forever. The minute I was able to lift a little weight, which I should not have done, I did. And I only did it on my right arm. And it was for a match that I shouldn't have taken so soon out of intensive care, essentially. And what I did, both when I first started working out and was able to actually work out for arm wrestling with my health issues, and after I started actually arm wrestling with people on an arm wrestling table the way you're supposed to, pulling towards you. Both times the workout I did was a 2-hour-long circuit which consisted of 6 rounds. I never completed the 6th round, so completed 5 rounds. It consisted of, in the end, I think it was 18 exercises. And without going into too much detail, if I just did one of the 18 exercises, I was able to do in a sitting between 300 and 600 without rest, doing that consistently at any one time. And so for a max pump, my arm would just be dead. And what I did for each round of the circuit, for every of the 18 exercises, I did 100 reps. Some of you strength guys are going to be commenting, no wonder. I had a brain injury. It was all I could do. Couldn't lift over 10 pounds. It actually, I think it set me back physically, but I went ahead and lifted that 10 pounds, or that 6.5 pounds, thousands of times. I really wanted to win. Probably shouldn't have been arm wrestling yet. But what I have decided, this 2023, the last 6 months, is, well, my tournament, the Fallen Heroes tournament, which was September of 2022, I did gym workouts. I did chest, I did back, so pushing and pulling. I did a lot of walking, did some leg stuff, and I did an arm wrestling circuit on Sundays after the Sabbath had ended and after my Sabbath was over. And I arm wrestled 2 to 3 times a week, maximum, minimum, once a week. Occasionally I would miss, but most of the time I would do some pulling, even if it wasn't to maximum intensity. That was in preparation for the tournament, which I prepared for I did that for 3 months. I was preparing in other ways for 4 months. So a decrease in volume, you might say, and a decrease in total arm wrestling lifts also. Let's see. Should I go right to what I'm doing now? No. 7 months Aiden wanted for our match. So if he'd actually tried, he could have gained the weight. I didn't believe that he would be able to. But in that amount of time, I decided, okay, I need to do gym lifts to support my body. Because if I have to be limited to a body weight, I want to be a shredded 200 pounds. I don't want to be, the way that I am now. Have as much live, active power, body mass as possible the day of weighing 200 pounds or less. And I should be able to do that just fine. No problem. In fact, I haven't even gained 5 or 10 pounds of muscle. No way. But I've lost significant body fat, and I think I'm 198 today. When I did that, the 7 months out from the date we decided on, we ended up moving it 1 week closer. For me, my cousin's wedding. Love you, Isabel. So I decided to do arm wrestling max lifts for pronation and rising. And I ended up deciding to do that for pronation, rising, supination, an arm angle static, essentially, a moving static, if you can comprehend that, and multi-spinner, and pure cupping. So once a week, I would go as heavy as I could without injury or straining myself, and without seizing anything or feeling any negative things in my head, meaning pressure, buildup, and pain, loss of eyesight, that kind of thing. And I did it for the normal 50 reps, which I found to be overwhelming. And it was because of that, and I won't go into all the different experimentation I did over the weeks and months, and now about 5 months since then, I decided that when I do a max lift, I'm going to do it for 20 reps. So far, 10. I can't find my max weight doing just 10 reps. Whether that is neurological, whether that's because of my head injury, or whether that's psychological, I can't tell you. I think it's more to do with my genetics and just physical. 30 to 50 is where I thrive if I'm only going heavy. It's not circuited. I'm doing pronation and rising. I'm doing supination and cupping. I'm doing arm angle and triceps, or arm angle and elbows, as I call it. Then for a max, then I'm going for a max, and the full body, movements and things, I'll do 10 reps on. I can. Now, as of March 2023, I can do 10 rep maxes, and I can find a max to muscular, not failure, but close, in the body, in the full body. I can't do it with my arms yet, my hand. But I'm also still arm wrestling one to 2 times a week. No. Where I'm at currently, I'm doing not really a circuit, but I'm going through a circuit one time. So I'm hitting everything every morning. And this is also in preparation for a match. I'm hitting everything every morning at lightweight, 10 pounds, which has always been my heaviest baseline, essentially. And it remains the perfect warm-up weight for me. And then if I don't have too physical a day ahead of me, meaning both if my workout is not going to be too difficult, meaning full body, or if I don't have too physical chores and things to help people with that day, I will hit that same workout multiple times, and I will increase the weight by 2.5 pounds or 5 pounds each time I am able to repeat it. I've never repeated it more than, to completion, never more than twice. that is very difficult to do, and I am using 10 pounds. Okay, and I have lowered the reps down to 50, and if I hit a max, I'm doing 20 reps for that max or more, 20 to 30. Typically it's like 30, but I'm aiming for 20 reps. And I will only max out either every week or every other week, meaning no matter how I'm feeling, how great I'm feeling, I will not do a max lift of any of my lifts in arm wrestling if I have lifted to the maximum less than 7 days ago. That's where I'm at currently. I'm anxious to see where it progresses. Again, from the beginning of this video, I have too much endurance. I am too well endurenced. I'm not complaining. I think it's just time to adjust. And as my body adapts, as my brain heals, as everything connects as it should and is supposed to, I think that my strength will come. Obviously, the overall goal for the weights is obviously just to feed the muscles and rehab by stimulating those tendons and ligaments. Keep all your connective structures and tissues fed, well supplied, and thus rehabbing them. Functionally, your connective strength and fluid skill is derived from the table time and on the table work. So there's a lot of different ways to view the sport, but that's what I'm doing currently. Obviously, there's a lot of different things you can do with weight when you're not arm wrestling, but how realistic is that? And so it's important to note, if you're going to keep track of records or keep track and note what you're doing, you need to keep track of how many times a week you're arm wrestling and how intense those sessions are, what you worked on, and or how long you pulled, because those are all factors in your energy. Everything's energy, Einstein. So if you can monitor all of those and still find a rate of progression, then you're likely progressing over a wide span of things and are not super dialed into one, which is what it would take to really give your all for a max lift in one area. The Eddie Hall deadlift, for example, he's resting for weeks, essentially doing nothing but eating, preparing his body to give everything. Arm wrestling, you can't get that. You still have to have quite a bit of endurance, right? Coming from those big guys, super heavyweight category, the famous ones. But it's similar in that you never really get there. You don't really get to do max lifts when the number is actually going to represent the maximum that your body could produce, as if it was a powerlifting competition, that kind of thing. So be careful where you spend your energy. If you need the rehab, if you need the circuits, if you need the daily, probably don't max lift. And if you need to, for your confidence, you need to, for your records, you need to show your progression to yourself or to others. I don't know what your deal is, but don't do it more than every 7 days. 7 to 14, right? I would say 7 to 10, but it's just easier saying, in a calendar structure, to say every or every other week. And if you can get to the point where you're able to do some lift to the max, you guys have seen Devin's videos, that's amazing. But I'm not on that level, and I can't even comprehend it right now. So that's the rate of progression for me right now. I am decreasing reps and gradually increasing weight, while steadily and progressively raising my work capacity and therefore my usefulness, right, and helpfulness. So go out and help someone. Stay after it and find truth in arm wrestling. Talk to you soon.